But they have been saying, look, people need digital identities in order to do things online. More and more stuff happens online. People need to prove who they are to do banking or to buy things or to interact with the government for their driving license and so on. But what we're going to do, instead of the government doing it, we're going to set up a system where private companies can do it, and we will just set a standard that they can adhere to so people know they can trust them. There are private companies, this has been happening for some time. I think young people who want to prove how old they are to buy drinks, for example, can get ID for that kind of purpose. And there are private providers who do that. So I think this is quite an interesting approach, because in practice, it will still lead to everybody having an ID which is biometric, so it's actually linked to your physical self. And once something is linked to you biometrically, it's really hard to unlink it, because you can't really change your fingerprint or your face as it's scanned by computers anyway. So once you're in that system, you are in that system. I sometimes give talks to people, like I was giving a talk to some school bursars and showing them, there was a little fad in Scandinavia for people to insert microchips, RFID chips, in their hands and use them as ID. It's a very Scandinavian thing. And so it's like, instead of having your work pass or your travel card, you would have your RFID tag under the skin of your hand, and so you just scan your hand, and that would prove who you were. And so I said to these school bursars, who would mainly be complaining about how difficult the teachers were to organise, I said, would you like your teachers tagged like this so you could see them moving around? And they were like, yeah, that'd be great. Not entirely seriously. And I said, well, what about the kids? What about the school kids in your schools? You could tag all of them and then scan them moving around. And they rightly went, oh no, that would be really intrusive. No, that'd be terrible. What about privacy? And I said, okay, well, how many of you use the kids' fingerprints, for example, for them to pay for their lunches? And quite a lot of them did. I said, all right, well, when the kids leave your school, if you had a little tag under their hands, you could just take it out and that'd be it. But if you've got their fingerprints, that's that kid's fingerprints for the rest of that kid's life. Okay, have you really thought about the kind of sensitive data you've got here?